Go someplace where no one knows your name, no one knows who you are, because that is one of the most beneficial tools that I've used to help myself change. It takes you out of your comfort zone, takes you away from who you used to be, and then you can create whoever you want to become. And the reason why I thought about this, or what kind of prompted this video, was I'm currently visiting my parents back in Cape Cod, where I used to spend every single summer down here with them. And it started to bring back old childhood memories, family memories. It's very nostalgic. While that is nice to have in the memory bank, and it's good to come back and visit and see everyone, but I noticed like the feelings of my old self, the self that I didn't want to be, like the habits that were limiting to become who I want to be, are starting to, I can kind of feel them like settle or try to settle back in, right, into my current way of living. And I don't want those old habits, right? I moved away from my hometown so I could break those habits. So while it is nice to come back and visit and see everyone, you gotta remember the reason why you moved away in the first place, right? I mean, doing that definitely changed me, but just, kind of being back here for about a week or two, it's weird, I can kind of feel the habits trying to creep back in. But it's weird how I'm catching myself almost like relapsing or trying to relapse back into these old patterns, these old ways. So at least I'm aware of it, but it's very strange how that happens. But that's just a reminder that in order for you to break the habit of being yourself, an environmental change, right? Going into a new area, a new location, a new place is one of the key tools that I personally feel I have to use so I can become someone else, become someone better. Because I personally find it's always better to create where there's uncertainty or in the unknown. But yeah, it's strange. It's tough, coming back here, hanging out with the parents, because even your parents kind of fall into that old mentality of yourself, right? Where they're telling you what to do, right? They're telling you to do chores. Your parents in your old environment can be a very limiting factor if you're trying to break free from your old self. So that's why changing your environment is extremely important, right? Because you can it's easier to shed that old identity and then create, a new one that's not attached, like I spoke in my last video, that's not attached to your old surroundings, your old environment, your old possessions. Because nostalgia is it's a very strong feeling, right? That can definitely overpower your body into listening to it. So it's also a reminder just to be very, very aware when you kind of travel back to these old places where you lived for years on end. Which is also why, living in one place for such a long time, while it is nice, to kind of have a familiar routine and be familiar with surroundings, it can also hurt you as well if you actually travel back to that location at some point in the future. So you just got to be, very careful. You want to remain, at least for me, I know I want to remain detached and not identified with one specific location or environment. And again, that's why I am intentionally choosing to live more of a decentralized life and apply those philosophies to kind of how I attack each day. But that's it. I just wanted to drop a quick note because I was trying to figure out what was going on with me these past couple of days, you know, seeing everyone from my childhood, my past, because, you know, this is where I spent years, down the Cape. Every summer, every 4th of July. And I was getting these weird feelings. I was like, what is going on here? I don't feel like myself. And then it kind of just hit me this morning. It's all the nostalgia, bringing back all the old memories, the old habits, patterns, the feelings, which is nice, but you got to just remember to remain detached.